Title: Marriage in Old Age. If given a chance to live again, would they choose differently? Psychology of Love. Introduction. There are mornings when two people sit eating together at the same table, but each looks in a different direction. No arguing, no anger, just tired. Tired of things said too many times. Tired of things they don't know how to express properly. At this age, people no longer ask each other if they love one another. They only ask themselves, why does living together feel so distant? Part 1. The Circumstances of Young Marriage. When they were young, the two came together very simply. Having a job, having a dream of stability, having the belief that as long as they tried together, it would be enough. Back then, responsibilities gradually increased. Money was never abundant, but they never dared to say it was lacking. There was only one feeling always there: unease. Unease about whether there would be enough next month. Unease about whether they could handle any unexpected events. Unease about whether they were on the right path. Marriage began like that. Not noisy, not tragic, just a life that needed to be managed. Part 2. Money. Wherever it touches, it hurts. When young, money is for spending. To buy a little comfort. To go out, travel far, to make up for tiring workdays. At that time, whenever money was short, people would just laugh it off. It will pass. Then came children. Money began to take on a different face. Money for milk, money for education, money for things that cannot be postponed. No one said it out loud, but everyone felt the pressure weighing heavier. Then both parents grew old and weak. Illness came unexpectedly. Unplanned expenses arrived. There were months when money went out faster than it came in. Not because of extravagance, but because of responsibility. Beyond that, money for relatives, money for memorial ceremonies, money for graves, for things that must be done. At this point, money was no longer just a number. Money became a role. Who carries more? Who carries less? Money became a feeling. Are we standing on the same side? No one is wrong, but no one feels at ease either. Part 3. The Emotional Distance After Money. After mentioning money many times, people begin to speak less. Not because there's nothing to say, but because they fear that opening their mouths will only bring more fatigue. There are times when discussing expenses, only a few words are spoken before silence. Not because of agreement, but because they don't want tension. There are times when sending money to one side or the other, without clarifying, without explaining, just doing it, and that's it. At this point, husband and wife no longer argue loudly, but they also no longer share quietly, eating together, sleeping in the same bed, but each carries their own separate thoughts. The distance doesn't come from a big event, it comes from very small silences. Conclusion. In old age, people no longer ask, if I could live again, would I choose differently, to blame anyone, but only to understand themselves. There are things couples carry throughout life, not because they don't love, but because life is full of burdens. If you find this story familiar, then perhaps you are not alone. Thank you for listening. If these very real stories touch you, please subscribe to my channel to continue accompanying these very true life moments.